Hello and welcome. My name is Michael, and this month the underlying theme is one of personal desires and the needs of the community. A big thanks to all the new and existing subscribers. All the likes and comments are really appreciated. So we are a week or two into Leo season, which started on July 23rd and lasts until August 22nd when it moves into the grounded energy of Virgo. But tonight's full moon or supermoon is also often referred to as a Sturgeon moon. This name is derived from Native American and Algonquin traditions where each full moon of the year is given a specific name based on the natural phenomena occurring during that time. And in this instance, it's when the sturgeon fish are most commonly caught in the Great Lakes. The term super full moon is used when a full moon orbit is closest to Earth and is generally around 7% larger than a typical full moon. Now, most astrologers believe that the clarity and intensity of the full moon can increase the amount of energy that the collective feels, so we'll associate an amplification of the traits and qualities that come with it. In this case, that would be Aquarius, which is an air sign ruled by Uranus and is known for its progressive, innovative and humanitarian qualities. When we look at astrology objectively, we see it as basically history, sociology and synchronicity. Hence, if we take lessons from the past, we can apply them to the present and the future. In this sense, the lunar phase emphasizes the importance of finding harmony between our personal desires and the needs of the community. This will be a recurring theme of the month, and it encourages us to be authentic when recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. So looking towards the past, the North American indigenous cultures might have engaged in activities that reflected their connection to nature, the cycles of life and the changing seasons. And those practices included fishing and corn harvest celebrations. Just to touch on that, besides the abundant sturgeon, for some tribes, this full moon marked the ripening of corn crops and included feasting and dancing to give thanks for the bountiful harvest. Hence, you might also hear this moon be called a corn moon. Also, there would have been ceremonies and gatherings, giving thanks and expressing gratitude. Think of the full moon in Aquarius as a time for personal growth and self-awareness and the expansion of perspective. It invites us to honor and learn from past patterns whilst embracing unavoidable change and opening ourselves to new possibilities and transformative experiences. In today's modern world, we are likely to see this manifest through social interactions, sharing our ideas with others. It's a time to celebrate diversity whilst promoting equality and being open to collaborating with people from different backgrounds and belief systems. It's an excellent time to join social causes or attend gatherings or just engage in online forums that promote positive change and personal growth. But also a final point, if we look at lessons of the past, is to seek balance in our technology usage. Aquarius is associated with technology and the virtual world. So this full moon in Aquarius brings an opportunity to celebrate our uniqueness, break free from technology limitations that often isolate us, and connect with others in a spirit of collaboration and compassion. The Sun in Leo square Jupiter in Taurus is an aspect that occurs when the Sun and Jupiter form a 90-degree angle in the zodiac. As both Leo and Taurus are fixed signs, this square aspect can bring about strong and conflicting energies. The Sun represents our core essence, our ego and individuality, while Jupiter is associated with expansion, growth, abundance, and optimism. When these two planets form a square, there can be a clash between the confident and expressive nature of Leo and the practical and stable qualities of Taurus. On the positive side, this aspect can bring a surge of confidence or enthusiasm through growth and success. So there may be opportunities for expansion and advancement in various areas of your life, such as career, relationships, or personal projects. And if so, expect to be inspired to pursue goals with real determination. However, the square aspect indicates potential challenges and tensions. The exuberance of Jupiter in Taurus can lead to excessive optimism or overindulgence, while the self-assuredness of the Sun in Leo can border on arrogance or a tendency to overlook details. So this combination may prompt us to take on more than we can handle or make grandiose plans without considering the practicalities. Under this transit, it is advisable individuals strike a balance between ambition and prudence. It's of course essential to have confidence in oneself and embrace opportunities as they come along, but remain grounded and realistic. Impulsive actions might make fulfilling promises difficult in the long run. Since both Leo and Taurus are fixed signs, there may be a resistance to change and a desire to stick to familiar routines. This is a secret of the square aspect, which sets a challenge to step out of comfort zones and embrace those new possibilities, even if it requires letting go of old beliefs or patterns. Overall, the Sun in Leo square Jupiter in Taurus transit brings a mix of enthusiasm, ambition, tempered with practicality. And by embracing the positive qualities of each sign and finding a balance between expansion and moderation, we can make the most of this transit and use its energy to achieve our goals and dreams with a healthy dose of humility. Today is a bit upside down, topsy-turvy, when Mercury in Virgo trine Jupiter in Taurus occurs on the same day as Venus in Leo square Uranus in Taurus. And this creates a dynamic astrological configuration that combines harmonious but challenging energies. Mercury in Virgo trine Jupiter in Taurus brings a positive and supportive aspect that enhances communication, learning, and mental clarity. There is a lingering hangover from the previous Sun in Leo energies, but that's tempered through a clearer ability to see things with more open-mindedness. We also maintain the confidence to articulate thoughts and express them effectively. On the other hand, Venus in Leo square Uranus in Taurus represents a more challenging aspect that can lead to unexpected changes and disruptions in relationships and financial matters. There may be a clash between the desire for love, affection, and creative expression, which is the Venus and Leo component, and the need for independence and freedom, which is the Uranus and Taurus component. And this aspect can bring about sudden shifts in romantic dynamics and money. But conversely, it may also inspire a desire for more excitement and novelty in relationships and creative endeavors. So with these two aspects occurring on the same day, the mix of energies will require careful navigation. On one hand, the harmonious Mercury trine Jupiter aspect can help us communicate relationship needs and desires with utmost clarity and confidence, especially with regards to financial planning. On the other hand, the challenging Venus square Uranus aspect can create tension and restlessness in relationships and said money matters. There is this underlying unease. It might be misplaced boredom spurring us to seek change and novelty, which will clash with the desire for stability and security. We need to be mindful of these influences and communicate with openness and flexibility. Try to listen to the needs and desires of yourself and others and find a balance between independence and connection in relationships. Being unaware here, or say hearing this and looking at our actions in hindsight, we might think, hey, that was just a day for growth and expansion. I embraced change and explored new possibilities. That's Mercury trine Jupiter. But no, you'd be wrong. It's the impulsive and erratic Venus square Uranus behavior which is influencing us to approach decisions without practicality or consideration of long-term consequences. Overall, this combination of aspects quietly invites us to find win-win solutions in our relationships and personal values, but only by harnessing the positive energies of Mercury trine Jupiter and navigating the more challenging energies of Venus square Uranus with a level of self-awareness and an open mind. We can make the most of this configuration and find opportunities for personal and relational development. On August 15, Juno enters Leo. So cast your mind back to Juno's entry into Cancer on June 22nd and how the Roman goddess affected your relationships. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it somewhere in between? Well, in any event, she's back, and expect the overarching themes to continue, albeit with the specific nuances and energies of Leo, which adds a unique flavor to the dynamics of partnerships. So as a recap, when Juno was in Cancer, the focus was on emotional connection, nurturing and creating a sense of safety within relationships. So if you're partnered up, you might have sought comfort, security, and a deeper emotional bond with your other half. Now, couples who have since worked on this would have been able to explore their feelings and vulnerabilities, leading to a better understanding of each other's emotive drivers. As Juno transitions into Leo, the emphasis shifts from emotional depth to self-expression and individuality. The Leo energy encourages partners to be confident, proud, and expressive in their love and admiration for each other. The time spent in Cancer may have laid a foundation of emotional intimacy, which allows couples to now explore ways to showcase their love more openly and boldly. In this new phase, Juno and Leo may inspire partners to be more romantic, playful, and adventurous in expressing their affection. There might be a desire to bring more excitement and joy into the relationship, as Leo's influence encourages a sense of celebration and enthusiasm. That's right, boom chicka wah wah. Additionally, the time spent in Cancer might have also strengthened the bond between partners, and that allows us to feel more secure and confident in showing our true selves. This newfound emotional safety can be channeled into the Leo energy, where we can embrace our uniqueness and encourage our partners to do the same. Overall, the transition from Juno in Cancer to Juno in Leo can be seen as a natural evolution in the dynamics of committed relationships. The journey from emotional intimacy to self-expression and celebration can really enhance the connection between people, creating a relationship that is not only emotionally fulfilling but also a source of joy and pride. As Juno continues her journey through the zodiac, each sign's unique qualities will contribute to the growth and transformation of relationships, offering new opportunities for love and partnership. The new moon in Leo is a pretty significant event that occurs when the sun and moon are aligned in the zodiac sign of Leo, causing the moon to be barely visible in the night sky. This phase marks the beginning of a new lunar cycle and offers a potent time for setting intentions and starting fresh. Leo, as a fiery and confident sign ruled by the sun, brings a burst of creative energy and self-expression. During the new moon in Leo, there is a heightened focus on self-discovery, personal growth, and embracing one's unique identity. It encourages us to tap into inner courage and shine brightly in the world. The time between the super Sturgeon full moon earlier this month and the new moon in Leo is a very specific lunar cycle, and the energies from the previous full moon can indeed carry over and influence the new moon in Leo. So let's have a look at how the super Sturgeon full moon's themes might manifest during this new moon in Leo. So the first thing is creative expression. Both Aquarius and Leo are creative signs, and the inspiration for innovative thinking from the full moon might now find an outlet. People may be motivated to express themselves artistically, engage in creative projects, or take center stage in their endeavors. Think back to the super Sturgeon moon ceremonies we spoke about earlier. The second point, embracing leadership. Leo is a natural leader, and the confidence gained from the super Sturgeon full moon might now empower individuals to step up and take on a guiding role. This new moon can provide opportunities to assert ourselves as a leader and inspire others through enthusiasm and vision. Now, on the third point, the tension between Aquarius and Leo during the previous full moon could now lead to a greater understanding of how to balance personal desires with the need of the community. People may find ways to contribute to their communities while maintaining their individuality. With heart-centered connections, it's a time to prioritize authentic, loving, and generous interactions with others, but also self-celebration and recognition. When following the introspection of the super Sturgeon full moon, the new moon will shine as a light on our abilities and accomplishments, and we might embrace opportunities to shine and be seen. So in summary, the themes and experiences from the super Sturgeon full moon in Aquarius can indeed carry over and influence this new moon in Leo. When Venus in Leo squares Jupiter in Taurus, it's an aspect that brings together the planet of love, beauty and pleasure, which is Venus, with the planet of expansion, abundance and growth, which is Jupiter. If we look hard enough for problems, it could be argued that the square aspect may, and it's a big may, create an element of tension between these two planets, influencing our relationships, values, and desires in really unique ways. So recalling that squares happen when two planets are 90 degrees apart, I found something from the twins over at Astrology, and I'll link them in the blog on the webpage. And they suggest that when two planets are square, it's a tug of war extraordinaire. They say get ready for a showdown or a battle of wills as each side digs in its heels and resists the necessary compromise. But further to that, they also talk about the square aspect can create a power struggle and a clashing agenda along with an undeniable chemistry. And in this instance, it's really the latter with complementary energies. Anyway, here's what this aspect really signifies. A familiar theme this month is the creative expression and artistic pursuits. Venus in Leo fosters that creativity and artistic expression, while Jupiter in Taurus supports the pursuit of talents and passions. This aspect encourages us to embrace our artistic abilities and find joy in creative endeavors. Square be gone. Jupiter's influence can expand our social circles and attract new connections. So with Venus in Leo, there may be a desire for romance and fun in relationships. And this aspect can lead to new encounters and opportunities for growth in our personal connections. No square care. All right. So there's got to be one problem, right? And that's desires and indulgences. Venus in Leo seeks the AAA, attention, admiration, and affection. And Jupiter in Taurus encourages us to indulge in material comforts and pleasures. And I know what you're thinking, that sounds like a match made in heaven. Well, it could be for some people, but if we're looking for problems, a conflict may arise between seeking emotional fulfillment and overindulging in sensual pleasures or, extravagant experiences. And the second potential problem, if there is any, is around balancing self-confidence and humility. The combination of Venus in Leo and Jupiter in Taurus can boost our self-confidence and self-worth, but there may be a risk, however small it is, of becoming overly self-centered or boastful. So find a balance between asserting ourselves and being humble is really essential under this aspect. All in all, it's about finding joy in the present moment, despite the tensions of this square aspect. Today encourages us to find joy and pleasure in the present moment. Embrace the beauty around us and appreciate life's simple pleasures. This can help us navigate through any challenge. However, look hard enough if you're a wowser for the calls of moderation and self-awareness to avoid excess and potential conflicts in our pursuit of happiness and abundance. If you're really looking for an element of self-control today, think of the Stoic principle of cultivating a mindset of inner tranquility and self-control by finding joy and contentment within ourselves and not relying solely on external circumstances for happiness. The explanation for retrograde motion starts with understanding that the planets in our solar system orbit the sun at different speeds and distances. And on Earth, we observe the other planets moving across our sky, following their own paths as we ourselves orbit the sun. And from this perspective, 3 to 4 times a year, the planet Mercury appears to be moving backwards in its orbit, and that's an illusion, of course. You can imagine if the Earth abruptly stopped in its orbit and went the other way, it'd be like Superman 3 vibes. Was it Superman 3? I hope so. This is why we call this apparent retrograde motion, as it's only looking like the planet is moving backwards. In astrology, Mercury governs communication, technology, travel, and the way that we process information. But when it goes retrograde in the sign of Virgo, the energies are focused on analytical thinking, details, organization, and daily routines. During this transit, there is a call for introspection and reflection, especially regarding how we communicate and process information. With all retrograde motion, this is a time to review, revise, and reassess plans, projects, and communication. Misunderstandings, delays, and technical glitches may arise during this period, and it prompts us to be patient and flexible. In the sign of Virgo, Mercury retrograde invites us to pay close attention to the details and be more critical in our thinking. It's an opportunity to correct mistakes and reevaluate our methods and refine our skills. Virgo's meticulous and practical nature is heightened, and that encourages us to be more organized and precise in our daily tasks. Astrologers will often advise against making major decisions or signing important contracts during Mercury retrograde. And it's generally most intense for Gemini and Virgo because they're both signs that are ruled by the planet Mercury, which affects them heavily. But it's also really challenging for the mutable signs of Sagittarius and Pisces. Change abounds, which affects their interpersonal relationships as well as their career. The other repetitive aspects that astrologers talk about during retrograde period is the technology and communication, and that may encounter issues, so it's essential to back up important data and be cautious with sensitive information. Expect to see retrograde last until September 14, and then again from December 13 to January the 1st, 2024. When Mars enters Libra, it signifies a shift in the way we assert ourselves and pursue our goals. Mars is the planet of action, energy, and passion, and entering the sign of Libra, which is associated with balance, harmony and relationships, creates a dynamic and interesting blend of energies. During this transit, there is an emphasis on cooperation and diplomacy. Mars in Libra seeks to find common ground and harmonious solutions in conflicts and challenges. The assertiveness of Mars is tempered by the desire for fairness and consideration of others' needs and perspectives. As with the underlying theme of this month, people may become more socially orientated during this time, seeking companionship and desiring to work in collaboration with others. Their focus shifts towards creating and maintaining harmony in relationships, and there may be a greater interest in socializing and connecting with others on a general level. But it's not all plain sailing, as Mars in Libra can bring up its own challenges, particularly around making decisions or taking decisive action. The desire to please others and maintain harmony can sometimes lead to indecisiveness or avoidance of conflict. It's essential to strike a balance between assertiveness and sensitivity to the needs of others. In love and relationships, Mars in Libra can bring a romantic and charming energy, so people may be more flirtatious and focused on creating a pleasant and attractive environment. Mars here it's really a peaceful warrior and fighting for justice and defending that harmony. So just be aware of the need to find assertiveness and voice our desires and boundaries clearly. It's essential to communicate openly and honestly in relationships to ensure that both partners' needs are met. On August 28, we have another retrograde. Uranus begins in Taurus, and this marks a period of internal reflection and re-evaluation of our individuality. Uranus is the planet of innovation, rebellion, and sudden changes, and its retrograde motion prompts us to look inward and explore how we can liberate ourselves from limiting patterns. So expect to see the focus shift from external disruption to internal transformation. It's a time to question our attachments to material possessions, our routines, and our comfort zones. Will we find ourselves questioning traditional norms and seeking alternative perspectives that align more closely with our true selves? Or perhaps this is down to the retrograde motion, which can inspire us at the very least to embrace our uniqueness, even if that means stepping away from conventional expectations. Interestingly, lessons from transpersonal psychology explore the spiritual and transcendent aspects of the human experience. And we could draw from this approach to help explore the inner spiritual journey and higher self when navigating periods of rebellion and potential sudden change. As Uranus is associated with collective change, this retrograde phase can also bring a shift and revolutions across all of society. In Taurus, Uranus seeks to redefine our relationship with material resource, nature, and the earth. It may prompt us to find innovative solutions to environmental challenges or rethink our consumerist habits to live more sustainably. And again, we can look towards the recent past. If we think back to the start of this month, understanding that the influences of the super Sturgeon moon can last up to 30 days, or further to the historical past, so our indigenous forebearers, as a useful way to recognize the outcomes of impulsive reactions and instead take the time to assess potential consequences before making major decisions. The energy of Uranus can be unpredictable, so being prepared for unexpected events is crucial. Today, expect to feel existential, exploring questions of existence, meaning, and freedom. Examining our choices and responsibilities while acknowledging the freedom to make authentic decisions in times of change and rebellion is essential. Winding out the month, this will actually be a blue moon, a term used to describe the second full moon that occurs within a calendar month. And it's relatively rare. It happens once every 2 to 3 years. And we can just think to the phrase once in a blue moon and get that association. Speaking of which, a blue moon is often associated with a sense of heightened energy and potency. It's considered a powerful time for spiritual practice, manifestation, and emotional healing. Many astrologers believe that the energy of a blue moon amplifies the effects of the full moon, making it an excellent opportunity for setting intentions or releasing old patterns, whilst gaining clarity on one's spiritual path. Pisces, being a water sign, is ruled by Neptune and represents deep intuition, empathy, and imagination. And during the blue moon, emotions of the previous Uranus retrograde may be heightened. There is a continual strong desire for spiritual connection and understanding. And this leads to feelings of vulnerability and need for solitude to process inner thoughts and feelings. But Pisces is also known for blurring boundaries, so there can be a tendency to feel overwhelmed by the emotions that we take in from others, and we can try to escape that reality through daydreaming. And this makes it difficult to focus on our own self-compassion, and instead we get lost in our own inner world. It really is a time to connect with our emotions while seeking understanding and compassion, not only from ourselves but others, and drawing from the underlying theme of the month to find a sense of unity with the world around us. We can do this by drawing upon the mentioned rituals and traditions performed under the Sturgeon moon, as it's a potent time for setting intentions and conducting energy work or performing healing practices. It's a time to release what no longer serves us and to invite positive energy and manifestation into our lives. Ultimately, as we wind down this month, the blue moon is a reminder of the cyclical nature of life, the ebb and flow of energy and continuous opportunity for growth or transformation that the lunar cycle provides. It offers a chance to attune ourselves to the rhythm of the cosmos and to align with the ever-changing energies of the universe. So that is the end of the long form look at the month of August. I hope this helps and there was something in it for you that differs from the rest. Again, feel free to help the channel out by giving a like or follow. It's free. Cheers.